Hi, I'm Raylene Lung.
And I'm Avantika Anand.
This is the first time that 25th Hour has been on campus since the middle of last winter. In our last two episodes, our hosts were talking to you on Zoom from the comfort of their homes.
We still can't be inside of our studio in the building just over there, but at least we can be together outside, at a safe social distance, of course. Will we be here next time? Who knows? But that's 2020 for you, making plans and changing plans.
You'll see that some of our stories were shot completely online. Some of them were shot partly online and partly in the field. It's all about adaptation.
Our story teams had to figure out how to work based on where they were in Canada, where their sources were, and what the public health guidelines looked like at that moment in time.
Bottom line, our teams found workarounds, which is fitting because that's the theme of our episode.
We sent our journalists out looking for stories about people who were finding ways to work around the obstacles presented to them by the pandemic. We'll tell you more about these stories next.
When our teams went out looking for stories about workarounds, they found people here and elsewhere who were trying to be creative during the pandemic.
These people found new ways to bring communities together, to help people smile, to bring them the music that they love, but most importantly, to keep them safe amidst this pandemic.
Both of the stories about keeping people safe are from here in Ottawa. The first is about two women who hit the streets at the beginning of the pandemic. They wanted to reach out to people living on the street and to sex workers.
These women used Instagram to build support for what they were doing. And one of the people who saw their posts actually helped take their project to a whole other level.
The second story introduced us to someone who is part of a group that is sponsoring a gay refugee couple from the Middle East. When the pandemic hit, the fundraising efforts had to be moved online, which was a bit of a challenge.
The group couldn't identify the couple without jeopardizing their safety. And it's hard to get someone to care about a story without knowing who they're caring for. Which is when Jeffrey Kwan stepped up to become the face of the campaign. His parents came to Canada themselves as refugees from Vietnam 30 years ago.
One of the stories we have about making people smile is from northern Saskatchewan, from what's called the tri-communities, Larange, Erange, and Lac Larange.
Spontaneously throughout the year, different people in their community came together to let their neighbors know that they weren't alone by bringing them parades.
And from the Atlantic, we have a story about music. Holler is a band from Cape Breton who released their album this winter. They were planning to tour to promote it when, yes, you know how this sentence finishes, the pandemic hit.
The band harnessed its creative energy to come up with a series of new ways to bring their music to their fans. Spoiler alert, one of them's got marionettes.
We'll tell you how you can watch these and our other stories in the next section. As with our last episode, you'll have to click through the stories yourself.
Below this video, you'll find a list of all of the stories featured in this episode. Click on the links to go to a blog post, which will then take you to the videos themselves.
Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Raylene Lung.
And I'm Avantika Anand. Stay safe. Oh yeah.